Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for allowing the Manchester Business Association to once again talk about some exciting things for this summer and fall. One of the, and we really thank you for allowing the restrictions to be lifted like last year for a lot of the businesses here in Manchester. And they are just as excited about that development. This is kind of talking a little bit more about outdoor events. Obviously, as we look towards the summer and fall, as vaccines continue to be rolled out, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but no one truly knows what our state and government will be restricting in regards to social gatherings and so forth. And so it would behoove us to try to do as much stuff outside as we can. Obviously, that's the safest and best place to do so. And talking to John over the past month or so, just about different ideas and such. Obviously, we'd love to see the opportunity to continue our sidewalk sales, our street fest, if possible, obviously in a safe COVID way, but nobody knows what that is today. But as we go forward, we want to do it. And all of this stuff requires planning. One of the things that I've been talking to the Stratton Foundation about is a fundraising opportunity similar to, for those of you who've been up to the Taste of Vermont at Stratton, which didn't happen this year again, but doing something on a smaller scale down in Manchester for all of our area restaurants and cafes and bars and such. So, having that kind of spread out around town, small bites food, just like what they would do up at the Taste of Vermont up at Stratton. And then, of course, in talking to some of our local businesses, they talked about some really fun and interesting things like little pop-up bands that just would be outside their store in the parking lot area, not on the street or on the sidewalk, to just, have some fun music playing and really bring life to the downtown area in an outdoors way. And then other festivals and craft fairs and different things that, have come here in the past, are worried about what the future brings and want to try to make sure that we can be outdoors as much as possible. And some of the locations that, we were considering or thinking about, obviously, some of the shops, parking lots, obviously, are spread out around town without interfering with traffic flow and so forth. We know that at Adams Park, they have the farmers market, maybe doing something there, not on a Thursday, obviously. What do we do about town sidewalks and perhaps even Factory Point Green or the town green and all that green space that sits out in front of the Hampton Inn and Suites? Obviously, that requires permission from them to use that space at different points and times throughout the summer and perhaps fall. But, looking at all, I actually went through and read the town ordinances, and John also, expressed concern about being able to use some of these spots because of what's out there in the town ordinances, specifically vending at town parks and that sort of stuff. So, I've come before you all today to see what the possibilities are to temporarily amend some of the rules and regulations around these parks and public spaces in particular. Obviously, going through the permitting process and making sure that the town and the town manager and you folks are aware of any events and give your approval to those events, of course. But is it even possible to use some of those spaces? And that's kind of where I'm asking of what we're asking of you today.
So Ivy, can I just jump in real quick? Just on the town park piece. The ordinances don't govern the use of the town parks, the Adams Park and the town green. those are actually easements that are held by other folks. So I'll look it up and I'll get back to you. The town green is held by the Housing Conservation Trust of Vermont. And I'll send it to you. There was a long time where it was rumored that we couldn't even do food vending during community events. And then when we got a hold of them, they said, well, that's crazy that you can't do vending during food, like do food during like a community concert. They said as long as, and their email back to me, I'll send it to you, was as long as the vending was done in support of a larger community event like a concert, it was okay, but we couldn't do like tag sales there and that kind of stuff were the examples they gave. Adams Park, the only one that one's held by the Conservation Commission. That one's a little easier to amend, but it would be tough to do. The interesting thing is that the rec park, which is so far out of town, is the one that you could actually do stuff like this at. But it's too far out of town, obviously, right? But I think we could work on other locations though too, where we could do stuff, or maybe, John, on those weekends where we want to do something, maybe we'd have different events at the town green, like maybe we'd have a concert there. I know there's rumors that there's a band headed up by washed up musicians that want to play at the town green this spring. No names associated with that, right, Greg?
Washed up.
Oh, I didn't say washed up, did I? I said over the hill or washed up?
I thought washed up. Over the hill's fine. Washed up.
Okay. So John, I think maybe we do stuff like that, or bring in like a performer or something like that. But it would be hard to get around those restrictions on that one piece.
And that's the town green. Yeah, would that be something we would? And I say we, the Manchester Business Association, or just have a conversation with them to see if they would waive the restrictions. And I do want to caution, we're not looking to have something going on there every day or even once a week. It's just having that flexibility to plan for potential opportunities. I look at the Taste of Manchester, for example, similar to is being something where if it's kind of just spread out around town where, and I haven't even talked to the restaurants and cafes and eateries to see if they even have the manpower to do this. But to be able to say, we want to sprinkle these around town because that allows people, locals, regional folks that are coming to the area to go out and enjoy this and be in our downtown area. And be able to go into our shops and be able to go into our restaurants and cafes as they're walking around to these different, and also keeps people spread out throughout town versus congregating in one specific area.
I think I could sign off on a food thing there if you said it was like a food event. I think where I'd probably get in trouble is like if you had like a large vending, like a craft fair there, or like a flea market or something like that. That would be the thing. But if there were several food vendors there and there was some music going on, it was like a community celebration, saying it was like maybe like a Celebrate Manchester event, I think that would probably be within the bounds of what they're talking about. But we could also talk to them though too as well. I'd be happy to dig up that old email and talk to them. But I think why don't we huddle up maybe and figure out if there's some of these other things that we talked about, like concert and vending at the same time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it is such a key location downtown.
A great location, and it's a good substantial plot of land. And if you have other things that are again sprinkled out in and around town and other locations happening while there's a small concert going on the green, I think that just, again, creates such a unique atmosphere for the summer and fall. Again, it's all going to be contingent on where we're at come that time frame. But just wanted to kind of put a bug in everyone's ears to how can we make some of this stuff happen or plan to make it happen? What obstacles do we need to overcome, and how can we gain your support for those future events?